The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone. We are super excited for our webinar today. Thank you so much for joining. We're going to go ahead and get started. So the topic of the webinar today is Know Your Numbers, and we're going to talk specifically about employee performance. This is actually a webinar series, so we will meet next week and the following week as well. Next week, we'll talk about future appointments. So for those of you that are walk-in business, you might skip next week if you don't do appointments at all. And then the following week will be client retention. So again, we're really excited for today's webinar. It's going to be hosted by myself. I'm Angel Gonzalez from Shortcuts, of course. Been at Shortcuts for, oh gosh, almost 12 years now. And we're really excited to welcome Steve Hilliard as well from Steve Hilliard Coaching. He also owns two salons, successful salons in the UK. So he's going to join us today and help talk about, the importance of knowing your numbers, especially around employee performance. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started here. Okay, so just first things first, you guys, we just like to do a little housekeeping. The webinar is going to be about 20 minutes, short and sweet. We want to deliver, some good information, but so you can kind of easily digest it and see how you can potentially apply it quickly within your business. My microphone is obviously on. Everybody else is automatically muted. Your speakers do need to be turned on to hear the webinar, you guys. So hopefully if you can't hear me, you've realized that the webinar started and you're running to turn them on right now. Steve and I are also happy to take questions throughout the webinar. So if you guys have questions, you can do that by using the chat section, and we'll take a look and stop and answer where appropriate. Okay. So the agenda for today, we're going to do a little intro for Steve. We'll do a quick poll with you guys, so be ready to vote when it's time. And then we're just going to talk again about employee performance, salon, shop performance. We're going to talk about the what and the why. And then we'll talk about how. We'll talk a little bit about our current promotions that we have going on as well, and then we'll have some time for Q&A. So if you don't get time to ask your question during the webinar, you'll have some time at the end. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hand over to Steve. Again, Steve, so thank you so much for joining us today. And I'm going to hand over to Steve and let him tell you a little bit about, well, what's on the slide here.
Thanks, Angel. Thanks for inviting me on as well. Good morning, everybody. So my name's Steve Hilliard. I'm a salon business coach and mentor for the hair and beauty industry. Like Angel said, I've got two successful salons that I don't actually get involved with now. So basically, they run without me. I do dabble in clients in a few a week, but that's my personal choice. But the salon's literally, I've got away from the salon chair and the salon's run successfully without me. And this is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about how to enhance your staff, get your performance and get your team involved with your salon so they're actually being more motivated to do more customers and upsell and all that. So I'm an author of a book called Do Something Different in Your Salon Today, which is available on Amazon. You can buy that on there. And I specialize in helping salon owners finally get away from the salon floor in a way that doesn't cost them money. And I show them how to use that extra time they've created to measure their business properly, motivate their staff so they can understand their numbers and make the profits they've always deserved. So this comes up time and time and time again, but people don't understand the metrics of a salon and how it all works. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to show you guys how you can sort of help to motivate your staff and how I can help you really.
Okay, you guys, so we're going to do a quick poll here. So Steve and I wanted to ask you guys, what is the biggest challenge in your salon or shop right now? Obviously, there's probably 100 things that we could have listed here. Steve and I had a chat, and these are some of the ones that we hear you know, repeatedly. So I'm going to go ahead and launch that poll and go ahead and give us an answer here. So these are some of the ones that, like I said, we see and hear a lot. We figured even if this isn't your main issue, you'll still relate to one of these. Okay. I'll give you guys about another 30 seconds. Hopefully everybody is having the ability to go in and answer those polls. And then Steve, of course, is going to talk to us a little bit about, well, how to do some of these things. Okay, I think it looks like everybody's had a chance to do the poll, so I'm going to go ahead and close that out. All right, back to you, Steve.
Fantastic. So one of the main areas we always look at when I start to coach somebody is once they've done a discovery call and we understand what they need and if we can help them and help to drive their business forward, is their break even per week. And we can get that even down, not per month, per week, per day. So we need to know at what point, if your salon is open, say Monday to Saturday, we need to know exactly where you are breaking even and what time of day. Salons in the UK that are open Tuesday to Saturday, for instance. Monday seems to be quite a day where we're shut over here. But basically, you know, a lot of salons get to about Thursday evening, Friday lunchtime before they actually break even. So we need to look at exactly where your salon is and what hour of the day. How you do that? Very simple. You go through all of your expenses, your wages, your stock, all of your costs, and you divide them by 4.3, which is the month that the weeks in the month. And then once you find your number, then you can divide that by how many days that your salon is actually available. So if it's I don't know, it's a $5,000 break even, divide that by 5 if you're open 5 days, so you know actually your break even is £1,000 a day, and you can actually get that down to per hour. And that's really important, because if you don't know your break even, you won't know where you are. This is a problem that I come with all the while. I've not met a salon owner, and been doing this for 5 years now. I've not met a salon owner that knew their break even before they started. They have an idea, but they don't actually know. Wages to turnover. Wages to turnover are so important, because a salon needs to be running between 43 to 50% on their wages to turnover. So you find out what your monthly wages is, or your yearly annual wages, divided by your turnover, and it will give you a percentage. Okay, then the report we're going to talk about today, which is Performance Summary Extended, which I absolutely love. I'm a shortcuts user, have been for, this is my 20th year. had salons for 25 years. There is no software out there that delivers the kind of reporting that Shortcuts does. So I'm a big advocate of that. But defining your wages to turnover is so important, because you need to be sitting around that metric, 43 to 50 to maybe 55%, depending on the size of your salon. I'm dealing with a couple of very large salons in the UK, and they are 50 to 55%, and we know that's okay. But the most important thing is, so if you look at the next one on the slide, it's your team's salon individual productivity. So a stylist needs to be round about minimum of 75%, 65 to 70%, 75%, then they're worth keeping. If you've got stylists that are running at 40, 50%, you've got to look at them and think, are these guys actually worth keeping? If they are, you need to nurture them, you need to motivate them, you need to put your arm around their shoulder, and you need to maybe do more education with them, learn a bit more upsells. And that's really important, because your salon, and we've seen this massively in the UK since COVID, and personally, my two salons, they're slightly smaller on their levels of staff, my profits are bigger. So we go back to the first slide, find your break even, find where your wages sit. Okay, then you need to individually look at your productivity of your team, and you can run that over a week, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, a year, but you need to see where they are. And this is something that we track for 13 weeks. So we would start, I don't know, let's say the beginning of May, go through all of May, June and July, and we see what productivity they sit at. I'll come to that a little bit later about how you can maybe motivate your team a little bit more and give them a promotion. We can talk about a little bit later. Now, people talk to me about, and I can't remember what Angel said to me, what you call it in the States is, we call it white space. So if you've got white space or gaps, salon owners get petrified, stylists get petrified. But since COVID, you need to look at your business in a completely different way. And that's what I'm educating people to do at the moment. Less clients, high average ticket. And again, your performance summary, it's on there. So that will tell you exactly where they are, because a salon, my salon in September last year, so we went into lockdown March 23rd, 2020. We reopened in July the 4th last year. So we had a bumper July into August, and then September was normal trading. We saw 31 less clients, but turned over just over £2,000 more. So my salon was more profitable in September 20 than it was in 19 and 18 by seeing less clients. And that is all about your team upselling. So important. So that's take home, shampoo, conditioner, styling, and going for a proper consultation. So going through what's one of my key areas, I'm really strong on consultation, and I know that I can help salon and stylists deliver a stronger consultation, because we don't listen to our clients enough. So we need to ask the open questions and find out exactly where they are. Some great areas to help motivate your team. So obviously this was all about motivating your team and helping your team to develop. So we look at a system, if we just go back to productivity, where we monitor our stylists over a 13-week period. And if they hit 85% or more, so I just want to reflect, I am a very unusual business coach, a salon business coach, because I'm all about the numbers, and you can hear that already. I know what a salon needs to be at, whether it's in the States or the UK. I know where teams need to be. So I'm known in the UK as a numbers man, and I love a spreadsheet, which is scary for a lot of salon owners, I know, but an Excel sheet will tell you all about your team. Getting back to the slide, the main report, performance extended, is going to tell you all this detail. I know Angel's going to go through that at the end. So knowing your team's productivity over 13 weeks, if someone is running at 85% or more, and I can bet you, if we've got salon owners on this call, the majority of the salon owners were running at 85% or more, usually in the 90s and the high 90s. Unfortunately, guys, you're busy fools. You need to put your prices up. It's so important. So if a stylist, if you've got different levels of experience and different levels of prices, if a stylist hits 85% over 3 months, move them up a level so they get promoted. So you're automatically putting your prices up. So you're automatically giving your stylist are basically a pay rise, because they're going to bring in more money. And you can motivate the team in a similar situation over color percentage. So what color percentage to turnover are they bringing in, and do that over a 4 or 5 week period, and then pay them a bonus if they increase their color percentage. So if they're at 35% color to turnover and they hit 40, give them a $50 bonus. If they hit 45%, give them a $60, and so on. So just keep rewarding them when they're doing, because it's understanding the numbers and understanding the pie. So how much money you can give away. And this is what I struggle with in salons all over the world. I've dealt with salons in Dubai and all sorts. So they just don't understand how to give these stylists an extra slice of the pie. And usually commission structures are horrific. So I have a really good way, and that might be something that we maybe talk about, Angel, on another seminar, about actually how to
Definitely
pay people in a way that actually is going to make salon owners so profitable, but it's also going to give your stylist a reward as well. So that's something that we could look at, Angel, because I'd love to do that.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah,
I'd love to do that too, Steve, because a lot of the times when I ask the question to a salon owner, well, why is this your commission structure? They can't actually answer that question for me. So yeah, definitely sounds good.
To be honest, that is something that happens. I spoke to, so you guys must know, I always get his name wrong, but it's Robert Cromines. So he is, I think he heads up the director of 365. He's got salons in, I think, in California. But I spoke to him on Clubhouse. You guys have probably come across Clubhouse. And I told him the way we paid, and he thought, oh my God, that's amazing, Steve. Because obviously 365, the whole Paul Mitchell thing is about upselling. Yep. So am I right in saying, Angel, is he based in California? Do you know who I mean?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
You spell his surname Cromeans, Robert. He's a wonderful guy. I met him through Clubhouse, which was I'm looking on his Instagram as we speak. I don't quite know. Yeah, I think it's California. Anyway, it's a really good way of looking at your stylist performance. So we basically look at all the color service, all these services that they do, cut, blow dries, colors, wet cuts, blow dries, and their retail as one number. So not splitting the retail and not splitting so give the services a commission and a retailer 10%. So if you sell $500 worth of retail, you might get 10%. I'm not sure how it happens over in the States, but we put it all in one number and we divide it by how many hours they are production on the floor. But there's a special sheet that I use that gives them the hourly rate, so they can increase their hourly rate. So some of my staff are on anything, average in the UK is around about £9–10 an hour, £11 an hour. My team are on £15–16–18 an hour. But they're bringing in really good money, but they're obviously bringing really good money into themselves. So it's a really good way of looking at one number, because when we go back to the average ticket just above where we're talking about, it's really important to be making that average ticket bigger. It's not about how many clients you see anymore, and you're probably seeing in the States, like we are in the UK, clients spreading their appointments. So you're seeing less clients, but you can still make your salon even more profitable.
Yeah.
Rebooking, percentage rebooking. So if you're rebooking clients in, reward your team if they're doing 50% over a month period. Give them a bonus. $50 bonus just for rebooking their clients in. So important, because if I book all my clients in this week for 6 weeks time, I've got half my clientele booked in. So it's an incentive. Major problem over here in the UK. Stylists just aren't rebooking. So we're looking at reward them. And how many retail per stylist or salon are being sold? Look at their numbers. And I think sometimes we have to be a little bit more, and this came out, and you guys have probably been on, I met some wonderful people from America on Clubhouse. It was brilliant. if you look at how many numbers they're selling and what they're selling, it's so important that that is part of their upsell. So it's all about the numbers, I'm afraid. It's all about knowing where you are, and that's my specialism, and that's why our businesses are, you know, where they are today. You know, they're really strong and doing really well. So yeah, that's that slide, Angel.
Okay. So I guess quickly, just why you need to know these numbers. And I think Steve has touched on most of these points already. But, you know, eliminate dead weight. It sounds really bad, but you guys, we don't need unproductive staff, right? So figuring out who they are, the good ones and the not so good ones, right? It's basically an essential part of running a successful salon. As Steve said, you know, doing these things got him out from behind the chair, and now the salons run themselves. You know, and just really giving the employees ownership and the ability to, you know, own their own performance, I guess. Okay. And you guys, I just wanted to quickly give you the answer to, the results to the poll. So we asked, what's the biggest challenge right now? Issues motivating staff, filling empty schedules, scared of raising prices, staff retailing. We got an equal response to each, you guys, 25% to each of those. So I just wanted to share that with everybody. So, you know, these are all things that, again, looking at some of these numbers can help you guys with.
Can I just add some stuff onto that, Angel, on this slide?
Yep.
So I think what happens is, you know, I've been managing people for 25 years, been in the industry for well over 30, but I think what happens is we actually get too attached to our staff, but I think COVID has actually given that more of a clear line between the boss and the stylist, and you have to look at these people, and if they're not being productive, you have to cull, you have to get people off. And there's a very simple way of getting them on a performance, and another slide that I use for our team is you know, how many clients they're supposed to be seeing in a week, what their productivity percentage, how many they're rebooking, how many home care they're doing, what their average bill is. You know, if I need to put any of my team on performance related, and I haven't done that for donkey's years, I've only done it to one person in 25 years, and she left after 2 weeks because she could see that she wasn't delivering, so she handed her notice in. We have to get strong with these people because they are bringing our profits down. The average profits in the UK salons between 3 and 5%, and if you're doing okay as a salon is 10%, but that's not enough. You know, you need to be getting your salon to 20-25%. That's when you start making good money. But you can do that with a smaller team, and I think salon owners are scared to do that. And that's something I've had a challenge with some of my coaching clients is, but finally, in fact, this morning, I had a lady who's got a very, very large team. 5 of her stylists were off with COVID last week. They had to self-isolate. The salon absolutely blossomed because the negative staff weren't there, the underperformers weren't there. So, you know, it can make such a difference to the vibe in the salon. And you need to empower these people. You do need to empower, but you need to find them. Is it cash they want, or is it time off? And there's a very simple way of giving them either time or cash, or cash, you know, as a reward. And, you know, my book is all about do something different in your salon today. It's all about my story of getting off the salon floor, understand. I started taking 90 minutes off every day, and I pushed that, and I am where I am today. Now, basically off the floor, salons run, teams are motivated. And it is a very simple way of doing it, but I do have a lot of people that are quite against it because they're scared, but that's because the culture in the salon isn't right. So sometimes you have to revisit your salon culture because it is all about the culture. Thanks, Angel.
Thank you, Steve. Okay, so I just want to quickly talk to you guys about this report, the Employee Performance Summary Extended Report. Because most of the key information that Steve is talking about can actually be found in this single report. There's 26 different KPIs in this report, you guys, plus it tells us about service categories and tags, etc. It'll allow you to measure each individual staff member as well as the business overall. So I'm just going to quickly show you guys the different KPIs in this report. This is the first page because there's so many. I had to put it on 2 different slides. So I won't read through all of them, you guys, but you can see just under the service data, I've got, hours worked, productivity, how many service clients, what was my service clients per hour, service average ticket, which is one of the things that we're talking about here, right? Retail, we've also got the average ticket there. We have retail conversion percentage. We've got the service and retail average ticket. And then we measure, retail only clients and what are the stats or KPIs against that. We've got a totals area. Again, tons of information in a single report, you guys. I would say that this is one of those reports that is really underutilized in shortcuts as well. But as Steve said, it's an amazing report, you guys. I think it can be a little intimidating because of the amount of information that's on it. However, you can get so much great detail and data from a single report. So I'm just going to show you guys. The way this is laid out too, you can see that we've got a sample of the report and we've got the little, this is service, this is the service area here, and then it tells you what's in each of those sections. This is available on our Learning Center. I actually pulled this directly from our Learning Center, you guys. So you can go and you can look up different reports and it will actually specify to you what each area does and means or how it's calculated depending on what we're showing you. So we've got a full area on service. We have a full area on retail, and then we take those two and we have an area for service and retail. The conversion, so again, the retail conversion percentage. The report library will actually, again, show each report in this way and explain to you what that section does. So for this one, the percentage of service clients that also purchased retail. That's important, you guys. So again, all of this information on a single report. The retail only section, the totals section. So you guys, this can be ran for a single day, a week, for your pay period, for an entire quarter, depending on, what you're trying to measure at that moment, right? This is a great report that you guys can use to do employee reviews as well. And as Steve said, after COVID, it's very important to actually be taking time to measure your employees and know what you need to actually do to be able to do that, or what you need to be able to do that. So I just want to take a few minutes, you guys, to talk about our current promotions as well. Right now, if you sign up for Shortcuts, so I know there are some existing customers on, but there might be some people that aren't signed up for Shortcuts yet as well. So right now, if you sign up for Shortcuts, you get free sign up. So depending on what package you decide to go on, if you go on the Elevate package, it can be up to $995 US. Oops, I meant to put the Canadian there. I think the Canadian package for Elevate is $11.15 up front. So you can have a savings of up to that amount. So free sign up right now, you guys. We also have free terminals with global payments integrated. So having your payments integrated is obviously, a way to streamline your business operations within the store. So you guys, they're offering free sign up for that. So for new or existing customers, we can get you hooked up with GPI for that free terminal to set up that integration. Okay. Um, so you guys, like I said, this is going to be a webinar series. So next week, we're going to talk about knowing your numbers, and we're going to talk specifically around future appointments, the value of future appointments, again, why it's important to understand these numbers, and then how we would go about getting that information in shortcuts. Okay. We talked about a lot of different topics and numbers and things today. So I want to give you guys the opportunity to kind of wrap this up. Ask any questions that you have at this point. Ask Steve any questions that you have for him at this point as well. We're going to give you our information so you can call us with any questions. And we'll also provide Steve's email address since he's in the UK. That's probably the easiest way for you to get a hold of him. And then Steve, if you have any comments, that you want to wrap up here, go ahead and let us know.
I think I shared just we talked about the retail and the 100 clients that were surveyed in 2019. It was a little while back now. That was done through KMS. We used to be a big KMS California brand. We used to use all their products. So 100 stylists were surveyed about consultation. And do you know what, Angel? The more I think, and we've been doing this today, maybe it's an idea to look at consultation as well, because that's another big area that I'm hot on, and the way we do it and how you can deliver the consultation. But these guys, these stylists, hundreds were surveyed saying, how good's your consultation? And these 97% of them said it was good. And the 100 clients that were actually being surveyed at the same time from these stylists, only 7% thought they got a decent consultation. So 7 out of 100. And then the worst thing was that 68%, so 68 of those 100, actually wanted to know about the products, but are petrified to ask. So whose job is it? It's our job to tell our clients what we're using and the benefits and the features of the products as well. So I just want to share that detail with you because it's really, really important. And your salon really conversion rate should be 25-30%, and if you're doing 25%, so on your what Angel showed earlier, your retail conversion, if you're on 25 to 30% on that, you're doing really well. Most salons over here lucky to be doing 5%, sometimes 10. So just a few numbers that will help you. You can look away, you can go and have a look at where people are and what they're doing, just to help you guys. Thanks, Angel.
Awesome, thanks. All right, you guys. Well, that is everything we have for you today. So again, if you want to follow up, so, for those of you that aren't on Shortcuts and you want to chat to somebody about how we can, like Steve said, help you save on some admin time, right? And make your time that's not behind the chair more manageable so that you can measure your numbers. So if you're ready to sign up for Shortcuts and get free sign up and snag the terminal, you guys, like I said, if you want to reach out to Steve, please do. He has a wealth of information that he can share with you. So here's his email address, or you can find him on Instagram. And then you guys, if you want to reach out to us, there's the toll-free number. So whether you're in the US or Canada, please feel free to reach out. We can answer any questions about the webinar today, or about the promos, or get you in contact with Steve as well. All right. Thank you guys so much. I hope you join us next week. Again, one more time, next week will be future appointments. And then the following week, we'll talk about client retention. And it sounds like potentially we're going to add some more webinars as well, potentially on consultations and also on commissions. So stay tuned for those. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. Steve, thank you so much for joining us as well. And we'll see you guys next week.
Pleasure. Thank you, Angel.
Thanks, guys.